know the basics. Again, I will be repeating on this thing. Then you will be thinking, oh, ki bolche, every time he is saying the same thing. So I wanted to be knocked in your head and you reproduce in exams. One thing I will show you, the gross specimen of intestine and stomach. You first know the gross, because abdomen you will be going in later on. Now the histology of the intestine. Now what is the basic, the organ's basic structure and function? Everything what you see in the slide is that what is the function of that? You are taking a tissue, preparing for histology, you stain it H&E. We are pertaining to H&E, hematoxylin and eosin stains. Now this is the thing is that if you just draw, write notes and everything, but try to conceptualize. Whatever the more than 70% you can conceptualize and write something also, can come out of the hall. Like elbow joint. Why I told you in that format? I told you that the basic thing, all joints have to move amongst two corresponding bones. Okay, now what type of joints? I know wheel, fibrous. That general anatomy you must first read. Even if it is not in your class or not, the class is not taken, this is one thing you read it. Because now it will go for osteology, already osteology you are studying all things. Now today, এসো এই তুই এরকম করে ঢুকছিস কেন এরকমভাবে ঢুকছিস তুই কি কোনো মার্ডার করে এসেছিস না গার্লফ্রেন্ড তোকে ফোনে একটা কিছু বলেছে পোষ ভয় পাওয়ার কিছু নেই কিচ্ছু ভয় পাওয়ার নেই শোনো আমাদের মানে টিচারের কি থাকবে তোমরা যখন ভালো করবে হোয়াট এভার টিচার এক্সপেক্টস ফ্রম ইউ দ্যাট ইউ ডু সামথিং গ্রেট অ্যান্ড দ্যাট ইজ আওয়ার আনন্দ that is our prapti. Prapti means I have received something from you. But I won't torture you, your brain mindset that hey, why are you not doing this thing or this thing. No, I don't like it. Now this is your competency based and all this, whatever it is. Actually, you have to know that you have to know the duodenum. Now these are the gastrointestinal system, esophagus, fundus of the stomach, pylorus of the stomach. Now duodenum, jejunum, ileum, large intestine, appendix. Now today we will be discussing the intestine, small intestine. Okay? Now this is the small intestine, general features of small intestine. Know the general features of small intestine. Cells of this small intestine. Duodenum, jejunum, ileum, Peyer's patch, large intestine we are not going to discuss today. Small intestine. Now the small intestine is a 6-meter long mucomuscular tube. The GIT is mucomuscular. Basic thing, Okay, mucomuscular tube. Small intestine has 3 parts: duodenum, jejunum, ileum. Now, see, this is the stomach, esophagus. This is the stomach. This is the pylorus. This is the duodenum. Duodenum has first, second, and third part. Okay, from duodenum it continues as the jejunum. From jejunum it continues as the ileum. And in the ileocecal valve, cecum of the large intestine, ascending colon, cecum. And over here I have small appendix. Now this is cecum. Now 6 meters. 6 meters long. Now there are some conditions when there is some your intestinal obstruction. Intestinal obstruction means there is some pathological changes. It might be due to some foreign body they have taken, or someone hit you and someone put a knife through it. Then there is an acute abdomen and the peristalsis and all gets lost. Okay. Now, why am I to discuss this in your this thing, histology? Because I am giving you a just small experience. Now, when I was a house staff, okay, Babu, don't talk. See, if you have given your attendance, finished, go out and gossip. The beautiful garden in this campus. This campus was built only for within 5 years. The garden is there. No one will believe that this is a 5 years old garden. So you can go and gossip in the sun. No one will complain. At least I won't complain. Okay. But I get irritated. If you are not liking, chalo jao, bolo jao, I'm not feeling well. I'm not going to take a thermometer like this girl, lady. She's having cough and cold or some pyrexia. At least as her nose, she's red, watering, whatever it is. Now, but I didn't ask her. Now, one thing, no, I actually, if I cannot perform my duty well, I feel a sense of guilt at this age. এগুলো আমাকে রিপিট যেন না করতে হয়। ঠিক আছে, এই you look at the slides. Nothing to be embarrassed. ভুল হতেই পারে, আমি তোমাকে কারেকশন করে দিলাম। Now, why I'm telling you, now I'll go back, that small intestine, it is 6 meters. So a man came not with an injury or anything, his abdomen was silent, no peristalsis, keen peristalsis. That we went for an laparotomy in Bardwan Medical College. Now laparotomy, no CT, no ultrasound, only plain X-ray, only filled with gases and all. This is the, even modern anesthesia was there, only Boyle's apparatus. Then today's anesthesiology has gone into what heights. Now, this is one thing I'll tell you, that out of the, when we opened, it was black, a portion, like at least more than 2 meters. Our professor, I was there, also registrar. Now they decided that we have to cut it, and end-to-end anastomosis. So around 2 meters of that gangrenous small intestine was clamped and then taken out and end-to-end anastomosis was done. So the 6 meters, now why it is designed in such a way, 6 meters, why not 1 meter? Or stomach you take kebab and all this, whatever it is, weekend is coming. And then you go, it will go, you gulp down, then go to duodenum, jejunum, and 1 meter of small intestine. No, because what is the function of the intestine? Now you will see, now that was thing, then at least that patient recovered and went home. He stayed in the hospital for more than a month. So you can at least in the year 83, 84, and that time, now I still remember, because in these years, I have not come across such a case. Okay. Now see the function. The small intestine is a site of digestion, absorption of nutrients. For sufficient digestion, absorption, small intestine has the following modification that increases surface area. Now Plicae Circulares, circular folds or valves of Kerckring on now villi, microvilli, crypts of liver cone. Now this is the surface. I don't know these days because Bengali marriages are, now we are wearing suit and sherwani and all this. But when I married, I had a white tashar ka kurta and dhoti, and that kurta was bit like, it is like gile, you know. You see any film of Uttam Kumar, Soumitra, Uttam Kumar, you will see that he is having babu, Bangali babu. The sleeve is an art of the dhobi with a small seed. He makes folds. Of course, even nowadays people are wearing. Anyway, now why I am telling you that increases the surface area. মানে একটা এটাকে এরকম করে দিলাম, এরকম স্ট্রেট থাকলো, কিন্তু এটাকে যখন এমনি করে, then what is happening, you are, see, if it is a flat, it goes like this. But if this is like this, then how many, the surface area increases. ধরো এইটা তো এইভাবে দিলাম, ধরো এটা চলে যাবে একদম as the function is concerned. Now, so it has a greater surface area, more nutrients and this thing, whatever this thing waste or anything, that physiology and biochemistry you'll learn. That gets this thing. Now, this is one thing. Now, this is the picture, cut. See, Plicae Circulares, valve of Kerckring, small intestine. This is the small intestine. Segment of the small intestine showing Plicae Circulares. Now you see, this is the mesentery, these are the mesenteric vessels. So a portion is cut like this, and then this is joint. The end-to-end anastomosis is there. Okay? Now you see the internal, this is the histology, what you will be seeing, that villi, the mucosal internal surface of the intestine, lumen of the small intestine. Now openings of the crypts, epithelium, lamina propria, mucosa. This is the mucosa. And muscular mucosae and submucosa. Intestinal glands, crypts. Okay? Now you see the intestine is lined by simple columnar epithelium, This simple columnar epithelium, this lining epithelium consists of 5 types of cells: enterocytes, goblet cells, Paneth cells, enteroendocrine cells, and M cells. Now, now the enterocytes are main absorptive cells of the small intestine. These are tall columnar cells with basal oval nucleus. The apical luminal surface of these cells have striated borders, regularly arranged microvilli. Each microvillus has a core of vertical microfilaments. This in this ordinary microscope is not visible. But function of the enterocytes absorb nutrients and secrete enzymes required for terminal digestion. These are the things. It is like this, it's like this, it's like this, like this, like this, like this. So 6 meters, if you take 6 meters means here to here. Now, if that is in ordinary this thing, it won't, then the man will be like this. The whole intestine is going like this, okay. Now, it is being designed in such a way that it accommodates in the abdominal cavity. Abdominal cavity is so much. Of course, there is some muscular band, this guy, and this guy, their abdominal space is more. Structurally, body structurally. But 6 meters intestine is there. Because of its function, slowly it will absorb and to release enzymes and this thing. This is the function. So, mucomuscular organ. That means what you see, the mucous membrane, submucous, then muscle tissue, and vessels, the mesentery, richly supplied with blood vessels, richly supplied. Now, this is clear. You see, at least if you want to feel it, here, this, you hold it like this. Okay, now this is the mesentery. Huh? No, this is small intestine. But I told you now what you want to say is that this is your surfaces. Now, even the large intestine has some tinea. It's a band like this. And this is, I've drawn straight, it is like this. It is like this. And the 3 tinea meet at these bands meet over here. Now you can identify the appendix easily.
So I was talking about the inner internal structure. Plicae Circulares.
These
large intestine
plica, this.
Eta ki thakbe large intestine.
See, the intestine goes squeezed like this and propels the food by peristalsis. So it is sympathetic. You cannot control. Kebab एक बार खा लिया आप एकदम stomach में चला गया. You can take it out, means you have to put a pipe or some endoscope and take out that kebab. But once it goes down, it goes slowly, it will go into the pylorus and go to the intestine. It goes and propels. I mean, normal gut behavior is such. Okay. Now these are the fat.
So no, I thought explanation is a long tube. Like
You have seen one. You go to buy mutton.
Yeah.
So you see it's hanging. The intestine, they take it out. But the fat is with the mesentery is this. This is the mesentery. You get the fats hanging, but the small gut is cut off, stomach is cut off, and that is even, you can make a very good dish. You can make a very good dish, okay. Now, this is stomach. This is the cardiac end. Now you see you open the stomach. Similarly, it's a rugosity of the thing. This rugose, fold. That increases. Like your stomach is small like this. Now your 4 friends are gone. You order for soup and kebab and starters and all this. Ultimately, you are full and you do and soda with lime. Okay, that expands. Naturally, it gives the surface to absorb. The functional part of it. Each organ has some function. Each organ has its own way of action. Now we go and see the slides. I will just explain the second batch and then I'll come back again. I'll go and show you. The slides are there.
ওখানে যাবো এখন
হ্যাঁ
ওখানে যাবো এখন
হ্যাঁ এই 5-6 জন চলে যাও
ওইটা তো আপনি বলছিলেন ওটা নারী চচ্চড়ি না
হ্যাঁ?
ওই নারী চচ্চড়ি বানায় না
কোনটা
নারী চচ্চড়ি বানায় না
হ্যাঁ
ওইটাই তো
अरे Brahmins are bo petuk. They do upavas and but they are bo petuk. Okay. Now one thing I tell you, I'll to give you an idea. Histology I can put a slide and see you do that's different. Wherever I have an opportunity, I will show you the organ, a gross anatomy, like when you will do cardiovascular. Okay, but your heart will be taught later on, but histology will be finished. Okay, now it is a tubular organ, mucomuscular, when it secretes mucus. He has showed you the slides, and the villi are there. Now, it is the inside that a plica or kurtas, this thing. This that I showed you there. Now, 6 meters is the this thing. Now, that is designed in such a way that it can accommodate a normal human skeleton. Skeleton means the framework, your gut, liver, ascending colon, descending colon, then your ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, pelvic colon, rectum, anal canal. Now, a portion of this tissue is placed in the under the microscope. By the time I go there and show them, you please read your histology book. Now this is the stomach. This is the cardiac end. Why they call it cardiac end? The diaphragm separates and the heart is here. That's known as the cardiac end. And this is the sphincteric. This is pylorus. So it will be more of muscle element in the histological slide. Okay. Now this is the greater curvature, smaller curvature, and this is the greater curvature. And these are the now you see the inner surface. Yeah. See? This is rugosity. So it gives increase the surface. You take a heavy meal, party, then you, anyway, that increases surface absorption and enzymes and all to secreted. It takes, say, 2 hours, 1 hour, 3 hours to go down up to the things. Okay. If it is blocked by some even food, like when you are gulping and all the eating, suddenly you see, especially ginger, adrak. So don't take in pieces. If you want to take this thing, they should be chopped and fine. Okay, because that sometimes, I'm saying this type of food, you sometimes you challenge. একটা মাটন পিস এরকম হাফ করে খেয়ে নিলে। So what will happen? It will go down, but that goes and creates problem. Distension and all. You go home, your friends are departed, and you sleep and say, you take soda, your PPI and all this, and you belch, then this is the. Now one thing I want to tell you, just have this concept, then read your book just now, you all don't crowd, and you'll be called, you go there and they'll finish. Okay. হ্যাঁ আরে দেখো ভাই শোনো তোমরা দেখার জন্যই তো বলা আমি বলি তুমি এখানে দাঁড়াও আগে এদেরকে দেখিয়ে দিই তারপর তুমি দেখো দেখো আবার পিস করে যদি খেতে ইচ্ছে হয় খাবে ওকে চলো এই Please come. Please come. Ball. Suno. Don't have to go on tiptoes. Okay. No, you will see. When I leave, you can feel and see and what dish you want to make out of this. Okay. Now this is the intestine. I showed you your this thing that 6 meter can be if you go straight that means it is a big piece. Okay. Now this is the small intestine. See, this is the plica. I told you. Because see, Plicae Circulares, circular folds. This is the tube. It is like this, like this, like this. That's the mucosal fold that goes down like this, like this, like this, like this. You think of Mount Everest. If it is made into a flat plateau, then it will go like it will cross China. And over here it will cross up to France and meets Alps and says hello. Okay, now what I want to say is that you please see for yourself, touch, feel, wash your hands with your soap and everything. And a bit of formalin आप रोएंगे तो क्या होगा? आपको रोना है, आपको nowadays you can post a Facebook that I'm crying due to formalin. Okay, now this is the stomach. Now this is the stomach. This is the pyloric end. You feel it. You feel it. Hey, देखो, spot show. You feel it. Okay. Now you can feel this is the pyloric end is muscular. See, I've drawn that. The duodenal part. The pylorus, the duodenum. This is the esophageal and cardiac end. Okay. Now see, similarly, it was like this. Now you see, this mucous membrane is in like this. Rugosity is there. Now what you will see, when you take a section, you will see in the microscope and see that the, understand? So what are the layers? Mucosal layer, submucosal layer, then muscular layer, and adventitia. This is the peritoneum. This cut produced a slide. I'm not going into the steps of how to make a slide. And if you are at liberty, but don't tear it, don't pull it. You're just gentle. You view. You want to palpate. You can palpate. You can see how it is being done. Okay? I'm going to the histology. কি আছে, এটাতে কি আছে? See, this is the ileum. This is the ileum. Hey, that part is jejunum. এইদিকে চলে এসো, ইলিয়ামটা দেখে নাও, ইলিয়ামটা দেখে নাও চট চট করে। দেখ লিয়া একদম দিমাগ মে।
হ্যাঁ দেখে নিয়েছি, এই তো।
কি বলছিস তুই?
এই তো দেখে নিয়েছি।
ও ছবি দেখে লাভ নেই,
না এটা আমি বই থেকে দেখলাম। এই তো এই তো এই তো এইটা।
বই দেখে নেই। এখানে ইলিয়াম আছে, ওখানে জেজুনাম আছে, ওখানে স্টামাক আছে। দেখে নাও স্লাইডগুলো আইডেন্টিফাই করো।
স্লাইডটা যখন বলতে বলবে তখন শুধু বলতে হবে স্টমাক না কোন পার্ট অফ স্টমাক?
না না, ওগুলো বলা মুশকিল আছে। গোটা গোটা তুমি স্টমাকের তোমাকে কেউ বলা বলি কিছু নেই। They don't ask you because which part. Even the best teacher cannot say which portion of the stomach is taken. That's why you do histopathological examination. You do an endoscope. Then you have to specify which portion you have taken. Biopsy. Biopsy is the word terminology, we use it loosely. The biopsy. No, it is biopsy is the process of taking the tissue up to the slide is finished. This whole process of histopathology. বুঝলে তো? এবার এখানে তোমাকে খালি যেটা বেস্ট, এখানে ইলিয়াম দুটোই ভালো আছে, একটা ভালো খুবই আছে। ইলিয়ামটা দেখেছিস?
হেভি সুন্দর, আমি দেখলাম।
আমি সুন্দর বলছি, তার আমার কাছে এটা আগলি মানে অবজেক্ট। আই এম সেইং অবজেক্ট ক্যান বি আগলি ফর মি, বাট ইউ মাইট ফাইন্ড ইট বিউটিফুল।
হ্যাঁ, কত রকমের এরকম।
ঠিক আছে, কনসেপ্ট তোমার তৈরি হলো কিনা আমাকে বলো, না পারলে আমি বলবো।